Hey guys, this is Austin. Today I'm running solo for one very simple reason. I want to do a little bit of a project. So this is a eBay laptop that I purchased recently, which in theory is actually a pretty good deal. So what I got this for is a little under $200, and it is an HP EliteBook. Now, not that long ago, this was a $1,000 plus laptop, but it came with a few issues. I don't believe it has Windows installed. So I figured what better to do on a boring Thursday morning than try to revive this laptop and see if I can actually get a solid system for only about 200 bucks.
What's kind of funny about this is that I haven't done a video like this, or specifically a project like this, in a long time. So especially back in those early days when I was just starting on YouTube, I didn't really have a lot of money to work on projects. So when I did, it was always like a big deal. I remember 2012, 2013, I spent a lot of time building the ultimate iBook G. Was it G3 or G4? I think it was G3. And something like that was really fun for me. It was just like a cool idea to take an old piece of technology that I could actually afford and do something beyond just kind of like a standard review, right? I mean, when I was spending 100, 200 bucks on it, I wanted to load up like an SSD and all this kind of other stuff. You know, it was a different kind of time. This is kind of bringing me back right now. So I think I just have the laptop here. There's no power adapter, and I know at the very least there's no copy of Windows installed, supposedly. So maybe not in the greatest shape, although it actually does seem like it's aluminum, and it's got this kind of soft touch rubber back on the bottom. Probably needs a bit of a clean. It's kind of dirty. But the idea here is that this is a reasonably modern business laptop. I need to check, it has a Core M inside. I believe it's Skylake. Keyboard seems fine, the trackpad's a little bit on the small side. I think the first thing I need to do is see if I can find a power adapter actually. So it does have USB 3 as well as we have HDMI. The build seems decent. So I found an HP charger that I've used in the past. I think this should be the same barrel plug. Plug it in. Hey, we have life, excellent. So we've got the HP boot logo. Actually, yeah, I do want to see the starter menu. Anytime you have a used laptop, usually you're getting a lot of sort of grime and stuff, especially if you're buying it directly from another person. Oh yeah, there actually are a fair few scratches on the outside, but it does seem like it's made out of aluminum, which is nice. Something kind of exciting about getting a new piece of hardware and really not having any idea of kind of what's going to work, what's going to be broken. I mean, it seems all pretty solid so far. I do actually really like this soft touch material. It feels nice. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but honestly, it's not that bad. So depending on what I find inside here, I actually might want to do some upgrades. I mean, I was assuming that I was gonna have to spend some money on this just to get it up and running. If it's something as simple as just installing Windows, that's great. But if I've got like an old hard drive or something in here, I'd probably at least want to put an SSD in. So this is not a sponsored video in any way, but I actually legitimately do recommend these iFixit kits. If you're ever into tech, having stuff like, you know, a full set of screws, even the weird obscure ones, having some of the picks, the guitar picks, all the stuff that kind of helps you get into stuff, just makes it so easy. I mean, I don't even have to really think about it. It's a SanDisk X300 256 gig M2 drive. We also have a I can't tell what wireless card that is, but it looks to be relatively modern. It is a fanless design because it is a Core M processor. And it's actually, I mean, it's pretty much all battery inside here. I mean, that's actually pretty impressive. Looks like the only slight issue I might have is that it does not have user accessible memory, so I can't upgrade the RAM. But as long as it does have 8 gigs, which I assume considering how modern the rest of the system is, it will, we should be just fine. So when it comes to installing Windows, there's actually a really simple tool that Microsoft provides that will allow you to make your own USB flash drive with a completely fresh and up-to-date copy of Windows 10. Now, I used to use one of the flash drives that I had purchased from like Amazon or Newegg or something, and that worked, but the problem was that once you actually get the actual Windows installed, it will then have to go and do like a year of updates, which can take a long time, especially on lower end hardware. So when you use that Microsoft tool and grab a little flash drive like this, which I like because it has USB-A as well as USB-C, I know that I always have a fresh, up-to-date copy of Windows that I can throw on any computer that I'd like. Okay, well that's a good sign, I guess. It should be booting from that USB drive right now. Like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but if the real issue here was just purely the fact that Windows had been nuked on this and no one knew how to like deal with it, I mean, that's awesome. And now, it's going to install Windows. So with any luck, we will have a fully working $200 or $190 system after Windows is done. I'm always just nervous when things seem to be going well, because this is completely untested. Like, it could just totally crash and burn on me. But so far, it seems like I got a very nice, clean system, no real issues, and Windows seems to be installing fine, which if that was really the only problem, then lucky me. I got a system that's not a flaming pile of garbage. So with a fresh copy of Windows installed, what are we actually working with here? So inside we have, it looks like Broadwell, so it's an Core M5Y51, as well as we do have 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig SSD, and we have, okay, well, it's dual band and wireless, but at least we do have 5G.
$190. What do you think?
I mean, this. Like, first of all, for $190, you're not going to get a screen that's better than this.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much my first impression. This trackpad, I'm hoping is. Oh wow, that scroll.
Drivers are not installed yet. It's
Okay,
literally
okay.
a fresh copy. Like, a bunch of stuff is not working yet. Compared to all the $200-ish laptops we take a look at, this is pretty solid.
I mean, this probably already has a better SSD and more RAM
Absolutely.
than anything you'll get at $190.
So one of the main issues here was that I got this without it being tested and without having Windows installed. So it very easily could have been a total disaster.
Mileage may vary.
Mileage
Absolutely.
Always varies with used stuff.
With used stuff that might also be vaguely broken, right?
Everything seems to work so far. It's not even in pretty good shape.
I see why you're using the mouse. I didn't even realize the mouse was here. I should have just.
At first, the trackpad was not working, and I had to have the mouse
Oh,
and kind of
gotcha.
get it up and running.
I don't know if HP was selling this for a couple $100, maybe like closer to $1,000 if I had to guess.
Yeah, it was. I
What?
think it was. I can't see the exact SKU, but I
Right.
believe this was about $1,100 when it was brand new.
Why would they include a trackpad that does not click?
It's a different time, man.
If you put like plastic wrap around this and had the box, I could have believed that it was brand new. Actually.
Look at the lid, though. The lid has the scratches.
Oh yeah, I guess. But I mean, like that seems like normal wear and tear for what, like a 4-year-old laptop.
Yeah,
That's. I mean, oh yeah. Well, this is aluminum, isn't it?
it's all aluminum. Yeah.
That's great.
So for a laptop that's 4 years old, there's a lot that really jumps out to me. First of all, while yeah, the screen bezels are big, I mean, this is essentially a 13-inch laptop form factor that we would know today, just with that smaller 11.6-inch display. But the important thing is it's a high-quality panel, and it is a full 1080p resolution, which looks really nice and sharp. I mean, it's easy to forget that this was a business laptop, and back in the day, I mean, this is something that you would expect to spend a lot of money on, so it makes sense that it has a solid screen. So the next step is to test the performance. So with the Core M processor, I'm not expecting a lot, but we do have still a dual-core 5th gen processor, so it's not wildly out of date. I don't know, I feel like it'll stack up pretty well alongside a lot of the $200 to $250 laptops that you can typically get at this price point. So after getting drivers installed, there are a few things that jump out to me. First of all, the touchpad is better now. It's still not very good, and it definitely makes me kind of wish that we still had Windows Precision drivers for much more modern laptops, because this just feels old, but it is somewhat usable. Also, something I didn't realize, this has a fingerprint sensor. Now, it's not quite the same as what we have today, so as opposed to a standard capacitive one where you just put your finger on it, instead you run your finger down it. But I mean, hey, that's actually a really cool feature to have on a $190 laptop. Last, and definitely probably the most important, we can actually easily play This Is episodes, because we have the power for it. The general system performance isn't bad. So importantly, we do have a pretty quick SSD, certainly not anything blazing fast by today's standards, but way, way better than any kind of hard drive or basic eMMC flash that you find on most budget laptops. Now, as far as that Core M5 or Core M5Y, whatever the thing is, the CPU is not quick, right? I mean, it's definitely, again, faster than what you're getting at the budget end of things, but like, it's probably the spot where this sort of does fall down a little bit, but because you have the 8 gigs of RAM, you have the reasonable CPU, and it's backed up with a pretty decently quick SSD, it is usable. Now, is this going to be the new main system for me? Probably not, but considering what we were able to get for the price, considering how little work we actually had to do to get this thing up and running, I am super, super happy. You're always taking a risk when it comes to buying something that's used, dealing with any kind of sort of somewhat sketchy hardware, and you can totally lose out, right? If you get something that looks amazing on paper and ends up being like a giant flaming pile of garbage because it has something blown or whatever, I mean, you're gonna have major issues. But this is cool, and I'm really, really happy I did this project. It really kind of brings me back to the old days of before Ken was here.